This is Michell Powers with Angel Messages, the only podcast sharing messages directly from angels. Today I have Al and Ben Carraway. Many of you know Al as Al Fox Carraway. She is an award-winning speaker and author of More Than the Tattooed Mormon and their brand new book that she wrote with her husband Ben, and it's called Cheers to Eternity.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks for having us.
I'm so glad you guys are here.
We're so excited.
Well, I wanted to have you guys on so we could just kind of mesh all of our worlds together, because you guys are really putting yourself out there and sharing your message and what you've learned and what you're really passionate about. And I felt really inspired, and I really felt the Spirit telling me to speak up more than I ever have before and share my experiences and share my messages.
It's exciting and scary,
yeah,
isn't it?
Exactly. Yes, there's so much to learn, and every day you're just like overcoming these things that you were
But you just do it and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I never thought my life would be how it is. Like, I'm a public speaker. I failed public speaking in college. Like, I told them I'm not joining any church if they even want me to pray in front of people, let alone speak to, I spoke to 24,000 people live, and it's just like, but you do it, and that's the cool thing about God, is doing things you never thought you could do, and then just seeing like, wow.
Yeah.
Comes from it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He can help you overcome
Exciting
anything.
And scary and exhilarated and confusing. It's all fun. It's all part of the journey.
So I love your guys' book, and I love how you guys were talking back and forth throughout the book.
Yeah.
So you could hear your perspective, Ben, and your perspective, Al, and it was so cool. Did you guys love creating that book, and what was it like?
Yeah, we wanted it to be us. Yeah. So the first part of our book, where it is conversational, we actually sat in our car and we voice recorded it, and then we just typed it up, so it was our personalities, because that was important to us.
It was a long process too.
It was I made him do it.
I know, I was sitting there thinking, I wonder if they just sat down, just the two of them, because it felt like this private conversation with no one else, intervening or, listening. So
we were just so sitting cool. In our car. That's what we're doing.
We were driving, though. It was while we were driving.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of like we were driving, just having a conversation, but
we edited it out a lot because we like to ramble.
Yeah.
We're ramblers.
And then I spent a lot of time listening to it and typing it up. A lot of play and pause.
Oh, so, yeah. I bet it took forever to go through all of that information, but that's so cool. I loved it. I loved reading about all the lessons that you put in there. These are the lessons that we've learned along the way. And I was like, it was such a good reminder for me and my husband too, because we've been married for 18 years. And
did you make him read it too?
And okay, just so you know, my husband has hardly read very many books all the way through. Actually, I don't think, maybe that was his second or third book ever to read from cover to cover, literally. So he was so proud. He got done. He's like, yes. He's I read the whole thing, and he loved it. And he's like, it was actually a really good reminder of just the things that,
cool. That's good.
I forgot about, as we've been married for a long time. You just kind of forget about different things, and you guys gave really just awesome ideas about how to get more connected, and just reminded me of a lot of things that I think I kind of take for granted,
Good. That's exciting to hear. This is just barely released, so we still don't know what people think about it yet. We haven't heard the reviews yet. So good.
I love it. I love it. Your first book, I loved getting to know you. When I first found you were on Instagram, and so I just started following your feed and reading just all of your information that you're posting and just your daily inspirations, and I was like, wow, she's so inspiring. I just love hearing, all your thoughts, and you're so real.
I'm observant. I can speak. Observant. I think that, that's what I'd call myself. You just notice, if you just notice what you're going through and what you're feeling, and then you notice what other people are going through and feeling, and it could just be as easy as scrolling on Facebook and just be like, what are people struggling with? what are people like, you know what I mean? And it's just people watching, and it's just like listening. And then I write around it, because to think that people aren't feeling what you have felt is ludicrous. Like, no one will ever experience the same thing. No one's experienced what I've experienced, but everyone has felt mad at God. Everyone has felt confused or lonely. And so I feel like why not talk about those things?
Everything that you talk about is just so heartfelt and so full of light and love. And so that's what I felt right away as I was like, oh, I love this. And I just love all your messages. So.
I think growing up in the East Coast would really help me. Because then you're just really blunt and you don't care what people think, and you just say it how it is. Like, I think that's just the East Coast way, so I don't know how to do it any different. So, like, if you're struggling, I'll be like, here's the deal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's why people are drawn to you, you know?
Who knows why people are drawn?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of reasons, but that's one of them, I think, because they just feel like how real and sincere you are, you know?
Yeah,
And that,
I hope so. I try to be.
yeah, I can feel it. I love it. I felt like it's really important for people to know how much love we're surrounded with, how much our families are so involved in our lives. And I've had that experience every day of my life since I was a little girl, you know?
Wild. Yeah.
That's
crazy.
And then, you know, I meet with people, and I think I like hearing other people's perspectives, because a lot of people think, well, they're just like in a far off place kind of watching over us, you know?
You don't know what happens when you die, that it brings so much anxiety that people just don't even want to think about it. So even if you do like approach them, I mean, I can't imagine, but I can imagine if me, when I was younger, just being like, I don't even want to think about it, because we don't, you know, but.
That's such an interesting subject for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, I think it is a question of the soul. Like, I think everyone
It's
at
a
some
question
point,
of the universe.
some point in their life thinks like, what happens when I die, or like what happens when a loved one dies. I mean, funerals can be a pretty depressing thing, you know.
I've been to plenty of depressing family funerals.
No, it's true. You know, I've been to funerals where, you know, they have said, like, it's so sad that we'll never see them again, you know? And I just, you know, you want to stand up and be like, no, that's not true, you know? Like, they're in a place that's pure love, and, you know, the frequency and the environment that they're in, it's just pure love. It's God's pure love. And so that's all that they're focused on, is love and helping us find joy and happiness in our life. And so they're never like angry or frustrated with us or anything. They're just loving us and supporting us, you know?
That's good.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Man.
Because I've had a lot of people say, well, are they just like, you know, are they watching me, and like, are they always just thinking I'm dropping the ball left and right, and like I'm not doing, you know, the things that I should be doing? That's never the message. The message is always, we're watching over you, and we're learning. They're learning so much from us, because if there's things that they didn't learn before they passed on, that I know that God gives them the opportunity to watch our lives and learn from our experiences. And that's part of their journey of being able to learn and experience things. And then also, we are here to be chain breakers for our family, where we're able to teach our family on the other side things as we overcome challenges. So when we overcome challenges, they can watch and learn from our experiences, and then they're able to progress and move forward on the other side along with us as we're learning and growing.
Whoa. My mind is also blown right now. Like, I feel like I just need to sit and, like, think about that for, like, 3 days. like, do you know what you just said? Like, that's not common knowledge to everyone. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's very eye-opening.
You don't fully know, like, what the next stage. You know there is a next stage, and what comfort that is, because some people don't know that there is a next stage. But then just getting a little glimpse of what that next stage looks like, whoa. That's cool.
It's true. And how involved they are, and how much they can just help us, you know? I mean, they're helping us in ways that, I mean, in some ways I don't even know all the details, you know, but they're showing me that they're involved in every little detail, so they can move things around in our life, so they can create amazing situations for us to learn and grow, and they can help create events in our life where we can help other people too. You know, we can be there for people that need our help, or that we can give advice to, you know, because we have a perspective that would be helpful for them. So they're constantly finding these ways, and they're just like, I don't know, they're just constantly like looking for ways to help us to find peace and joy and love and share our message, because every single one of us, our spirit came here to teach these incredible things. You know, our spirit, before we came, we said, okay, we're going to go down to this earth, and we're going to teach this and this and this, and we want to create this kind of life, and we want to share our gifts and talents, and this is what we want to do. And then we have our angels that are with us, that are always helping us to remind us, like, this is what you came here to do. You know, when you have those thoughts that come into your mind that you're like, I wonder if I'm supposed to do this. Like, I feel really passionate about this. Is there a reason, you know? And usually that's why. It's because our angels are helping us to remember.
I'm so glad I brought you, because there's
like
no way I'd be able to
mind-blowing.
like explain this to you. It's okay. Well, shoot.
That changes like the way I think about a lot of things. You
I
know?
know. It just makes you wonder and almost second guess like all of the thoughts that I've had, and like,
I think it is cool.
I think I need to pay more attention. That's what I think.
When the LDS prophet said, you know, one of the way God answers our prayers is through, you know, another person. And it just kind of makes you think like maybe it's not just a physical body person. It could just be someone on the other side that's reminding you of something, like, don't be a fool. This is what you're supposed to do, like, or something like that. Like, you remember you're supposed to do this, you know, so.
Yeah, it's true.
I have those thoughts all the time. Like, I always kind of feel those pressing thoughts of like doing something or changing something, and it may
I'm
be.
sure a lot of your ancestors would be like, do you know how many times I've told you this?
Yeah, maybe.
You're stubborn.
So it's just cool to
Of
think.
course, in the most loving, pure love of Christ way that they can tell you, but you are so stubborn when it comes to like decision making and listening to like your reoccurring thoughts. I mean, I always tell people that, to me, following God or the Spirit, or I mean, however you want to word it, is listening to your reoccurring thoughts. But that just like opens things up bigger.
Yeah, really. That's really eye-opening. It's really cool.
All right.
It's just.
Well, and I think it's important too to remember that God, He has these angels. I mean, we have our ancestors that are on the other side, and then He has an abundance of angels that their whole purpose is to serve God. And they haven't come here, they haven't lived a life, and that's actually their purpose, is to serve God. And maybe they chose, I'm sure they chose that. I don't know how it all works, but that is their full purpose, is just to serve God day in, day out, and to help us and to bless our lives. And we have, each one of us, when we were born, we were assigned guardian angels. So we have guardian angels that have been with us from the minute you're born to the day you cross over and return to heaven. So they're with you every single day, and they never ever leave you. And so they know you very, very,
wild.
very well.
How did they, I wonder how that decision is made. Like,
Yeah, that's wild.
Like,
and
who
is it like
goes-
our family members that like,
No.
it's just,
So these
so we have our family watching over us, and then we have like another set of like guardian angels that who
That's
didn't
just their
come
life
here,
calling.
right? Is that
who
what
didn't
you're?
come here, who haven't experienced this life.
Oh.
And so that's their assignment, is to watch over you and be with you. But then you have your family members. And I've been told they're...
So when is your book coming out? When do I get to sit with you and interview and ask you about your book?
I need to start work. Actually, we've been talking about it for a while.
You
I need to
should.
write these things down. 'Cause
Anyone can write a book. It's just, if you're self-disciplined, like, you totally do it. Just do it. You know what I mean?
I need to do
Yeah,
it
this
because
is
I have
great.
a lot of information.
Here's one of
wanna
your
get out.
reoccurring thoughts, and I might not be a past ancestor, but I am in front of you, and I can like flip this table over and say, do it. You just gotta do it.
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but you need to write a book. Because you're just saying everything, and I'm like, I need to read it so then I don't forget it and I can highlight it and obviously watch this recording a million times afterwards. I'm glad you guys are recording this.
Yeah, that's my message, is to spread the word that, about just the messages, the things I've learned throughout my life that most people don't know, or they kind of think they know, but they don't really know for sure, and I've had enough experiences that I can tell you.
So do you feel like when you do meet with people and you do say whatever whoever says to them, is there like a theme? Is there like things that, like guidelines that they stay within? Like, oh, I only say things that will or do, or like what? Is there like, I don't know, maybe not a structure, but like do you see commonalities the more people you meet and do this with? Yeah,
I mean, it's all the messages are about love and about serving and helping each other through this life. They're really focused on just bringing people together and healing families. They show you how hard it is to, when you cross over, if you haven't overcome these challenges or you leave with all these family issues, that just progresses, and then they're helping you to fix those problems. Like, fix your problems here. Like, that's what this life is about, is resolve your family issues, come together, love each other, because that's what it's all about. Like I told you, I felt your grandma, like, immediately when you came in, but
That's cool.
it was something I couldn't ignore, because she was just right there. Like, right when you walked in, I'm like, oh, well, she's like, really wants me to know that, she's with her and that she's watching over her. She's really involved in your life because you have a lot in common. I
wish I knew her when she was younger. That's the thing about your ancestors. Even like your grandparents, about them. Like, I remember my grandma, she would watch over us. She was our babysitter. I'd always point to her mole and say, "What's that? I hate it." And I'd try and pick it off. That was like our inside joke growing up. It's just like, but I remember her, but I almost like don't fully know who she was just because she was older. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But she's showing me how she's so much like you. She had a lot of tendencies that were the same as you, where you're spontaneous and you like to do fun things. And, her younger years, she's just showing me like, there's just a lot of things that you guys have in common, because she was the same way, and she was stubborn. Cool. She was really stubborn. She's like, I was so stubborn sometimes. Why didn't I just like put things to the side and just let things go, But she's like, that's just life. You just figure it out,
Huh.
That's really cool.
I know, that is cool. This is going to blow my sister's mind. My sister, she just, I don't know. She's kind of sensitive to these kind of things, but she is enough more than like the average person, but she's like also not. But she would always just say, "Grandma Kay," all the time. And I'm like, oh, like, okay. But she's going to love hearing that that's what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, she's really involved in your family's life, just your mom's side of the family. And yeah, just like, and they're very involved in our lives because they live in this place where there's no space or time, so they can be with more person than one at a time. We're so limited here on the earth, so we can just be here in this room right now at this time, but they can be many places at once.
That is something that you can't think about too long.
I know, right? Yeah.
Very mind-blowing. We'll never grasp our mind on that.
I know. Yeah, our brains can't really fathom that,
That's really cool though.
So are they all like with family like right now?
Mm-hmm.
So like she's with other members of our family.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah. Because they're always with us and around us, and then certain ones choose to speak up, So like your grandma's speaking up, but there's lots of people with you.
Like who else?
So I feel there's a lot of people on both sides of your family, but there is they're showing me just generations going back that are kind of just learning from you and your experiences right now, because you're overcoming a lot of things that your family didn't speak up and overcome when they were here, you know? So you're overcoming a lot of fears that some of those family members had, where some of them kept to themselves and didn't really speak up about things that they felt were important, and you're doing that in such a big way that they're kind of just like in awe of you right now. Honestly.
That's cool.
Yeah. So you just have a lot of family members that are like, wow, she's just doing this, she's amazing.
That's nice of them.
Awesome.
I don't know what I'm doing. You just guess. I'm just guessing, you guys.
No, you're doing
That's
it.
cool.
They're just showing me how you're spreading light. You're just spreading light and love everywhere, you know, with your messages. And so if you could see from their perspective, you'd be like blown away too, because they're just like, wow, this is incredible. And they're so proud of you.
That's cool.
Just everything that you're doing, that you're just sharing your heart with the world. And a lot of people aren't willing to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks. Okay, but can I ask you, am I allowed to ask about someone specific?
Yeah.
I can?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if they're not here? Or what if they don't want to say anything?
Yeah, they usually speak up, or someone will speak up for them. I don't know
Okay,
all the
because
reasons,
there's
but-
2 people that I think about all the time.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, which is my Aunt Susie and my Uncle Mike.
So your Aunt Susie is showing me that you've held on to some really heart-wrenching experiences that are memories, things about her that you just have had a hard time letting go of. Like you felt bad about something. There was something you felt bad about where you wish
How
you
she
could have
died?
done more for her.
I feel
or
bad about how she died.
how you could have helped her, or you wanted to be there for her, but she's just showing me that you need to let all of that go somehow. Just write it all down, put it to the side, and just let it go. Let God take that.
I just feel like, man, I wish my dad was here. He wouldn't listen to any of this anyways, but I feel like my dad's whole life, he's just holding on to, I think his whole life is altered because of how she died. And I was like, man, if she could just say something to have my whole dad and his whole side of the family just be like not mad or confused.
Yeah. Well, she's just showing me how the family, she's actually really involved in your dad's life because she's helping him heal.
That's cool.
She just sees all the experiences that he's had throughout his life, and she's there for him. Like, she hasn't left him for a second. She was with him like immediately, and it's something she chose. She wanted to be with him, and because some of the things are really similar that he's going through that she wanted to experience, if that makes sense. Like, there were some things that she didn't get to experience here, so she's experiencing those things through his life. And he's learning and growing and experiencing things the way that he needs to. And she's just honoring every life lesson that he's going through, you know?
Yeah.
And she's
That's
just
cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. Man, perspective. Yeah, that's cool.
And then your uncle, I feel, he has like a different energy.
Yeah.
Really strong, like powerful, like fills the room kind of energy. And he has this love, like he had this understanding about people before he left. And so he left with that knowledge and that love in his heart. Like he was able to take that with him and then use that to the best of his ability to bless his family from the other side.
Yeah.
So he left with that power and that like enthusiasm about life and all of his experiences that he had here. And he just continues to bless his family, but in huge ways. Like somehow he's able to really get through to people. And I think it's because he has this connection. He had a connection before he left with a lot of people. And so he's able to reconnect with them really easily.
We have just these two deaths on both sides, one on each that was just like really hard and he's with my grandma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really connected but it's funny because they're not helping the same exact, I mean, they're not helping the same exact people all at once, like he's very protective of certain family members. Like he's actually really connected with your son is it Christian?
Whoa.
Yeah, he's really connected with him. He's showing me how he is he's really watching over him because he's just little and he has a soft spot for him, so he is really, really connected with him.
That's cool.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I never would have thought.
Uh,
Uncle Mike, man. As a kid, I knew him as the cool uncle, but man, did he struggle. And then, he died a bad death. And then, I mean, it was just, that was it. It was like this huge debate between the family of what actually happened. But man, just to see him with Christian.
yeah, that's really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, and he's showing me how important it is for you to know and your family to know. Even your aunt's showing me this. It's so important for them to know that they left peacefully, even though their death was an awful death. I mean, both of them were. People would look at that and just be like, oh, I wouldn't want to leave like that. But your spirit leaves your body and you leave with so much peace. You're not feeling and processing all of that, the struggles that happen at the end, because God loves us so much that he allows us to not suffer at the end and just have peace. And most of the time, I mean, I'm shown every time you're watching over your body and you're able to just see what you went through, but you're just left with so much
disconnected
peace.
Like that.
That's cool.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
comforting.
he's watching over Christian.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's cool, who's watching over me, but something about, when you hear about your kids, you're like, oh, wow, Gracie. Oh, wow, Christian.
Yeah, that's really neat.
It's cool.
And your grandma's really connected with Gracie, too. Like, you and Gracie, she just kind of, you're her girls. Just watch over. She's really close to both of you. So,
because Gracie's just like you.
She is.
Fireball.
Yeah, she is just like me. That's funny.
And I feel your family too, Ben.
You do?
They're just saying how you are really coming out of your shell. There's a lot of family members who weren't willing to really open their eyes and open their heart about a lot of things, and you're really opening the doors for family members here. And on the other side, you're teaching a lot of people how to just love and how you can have experiences and learn and grow, and you don't have to be scared and stay in this little box of worrying about every little thing. Because even our family on the other side, they're able to learn from all these experiences that you're going through, and they're able to see that where you've come from and where you are now, and they're just saying you guys are a power team. You're just a power team, and you're meant to be doing this together. You're meant to be writing this book and sharing your experiences, and not being well, we're just newlywed. What do we have to, we don't have anything to offer. But they're showing me they have so much to offer, and the more that you guys speak up, the more that they can help you and work through you, because they're constantly with you and helping you. But they're saying you're giving them a lot of experiences to be able to be a part of.
That's pretty cool.
So who sticks with Ben mostly, do you think?
So
a lot, or right now?
Yeah, the one that's speaking up the most is a grandfather, and he's on your dad's side. And he's showing me he's arm in arm with you, and really connected with what you're passionate about. He's just saying there's things that you have wanted to do, and so he's the one that's kind of pushing you do it.
I met my great-grandfather. If it's Elvin, we called him Pop, and this guy was a giant. He's 6'6", big man. His nickname was the Rabbit because in football he jumped over somebody. I didn't get to know him though. I didn't get to know my relatives. My dad's side's from the Mississippi, and so I grew up 2,000 miles away. I mean, the only time I saw my grandma was when she was laying in a casket, and so that's really cool to hear. I mean, I was told that if it's him, I believe it probably is him.
That's who it
Well, if it's
feels
on
like.
your dad's side.
Right before my great grandma died, I went to visit her, and when she died on my mission, I sent her a letter. I was close to my great grandmother, his wife, and she said that I looked like him.
Mm.
So that's kind of cool. I always kind of felt this weird connection to Pop, even though I only met him like once, and he was a giant, and I was probably like 4 years old. I was just like, but that's really cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's who it is, and he's like a spiritual giant too. He's just really passionate about life and family and just loving you and helping you to really connect with what your spirit came here to do.
What a visual, huh?
That is.
Hooking arms with you and saying, like, let's go.
I kind of felt chills when she said that. That was really cool. Wow, thank you. I mean, in a way, I kind of envy you. I mean, I wish I could have these really cool sacred experiences too, but that's your gift in life, That's really awesome.
So now we'll just hang out with you 24/7. What are they saying now?
Well, and over the years, I've been teaching people how to be more sensitive to just recognizing how involved our family really is.
You got to put that in your book too.
In our life, yeah.
Because I would read that part like 100 times.
Yeah, because they're constantly helping us, and now it's really important for us to start recognizing, like, how are they helping us? Where are they, helping us in our life? And sometimes it's keeping track of your dreams that you're having, because when you wake up in the morning, maybe there's something that's just really vivid in your mind, and maybe there's images or things, and a lot of times I've worked with people and I've just said, if it's part of your plan to know, like, who's with you and what's going on, ask, and then trust the first thing that comes to your mind, because that's you trusting your intuition and trusting in the spirit, being able to teach you.
Act on your first prompting.
Mm-hmm.
That was just from this past conference.
Well, I needed to hear that today, so thank you. On 2 accounts.
Yeah, it's true. Just really trusting your intuition is so important.
Do you want to ask about anyone or anything? I'm just saying, if we're here, she's the girl to ask. I threw my uncle and my aunt under the bus, so.
Well, I got Pop. I probably might have asked about Pop, but that was cool.
Yeah.
Maybe my Uncle Haley. He died when my dad was 19. He was 18. I don't know, I think that's always kind of been like a soft spot in my family too, but.
Mm-hmm. He's showing me that he's still in a process of progressing and learning. And everyone goes at their own pace, and because God loves us so much, he's just letting us have the journey that we want to have. And so he really has a lot to learn and process. And as soon as he crossed over, he went to a place of healing, and he's been surrounded with family and loved ones that have just helped him progress and learn and grow at his own rate, the way that he wants to.
Doesn't that just make you think of the spirit world just like, whoa.
Yeah, it's not a bad place to be.
Man, that's cool. I don't know who that is, but. Whoa.
Yeah. I know it's always been it's hard for my dad because they were brothers a year apart. They always kind of butted heads, and I think when he passed away, it was a tough time because it was like right after his parents got divorced, and his parents blamed themselves for a long time. Like, had we never got divorced, this would have never happened, But it's just cool to hear that, he's with family. And obviously, when my grandma passed away, she's probably with him too, so that's really cool.
He's showing me how it was his time to go. The family shouldn't be blaming themselves for anything or having regrets or thinking they should have done something different, because it was his time, and he just is able to progress at his own pace on the other side. But now he's able to be involved in our life, in your life, in a whole new way, and in your family's life in a whole nother way. And he's helping your dad in ways that he couldn't have here, So
That's cool.
they have a whole nother perspective, and it's amazing what they can see and how they can help us. It's incredible.
Wow. That's really neat.
We're all quiet. If this is only audio, they're gonna be like, "What's going on?"
I know.
Ben and I, our eyes are bugged out of our face, and our head, our jaw's on the ground. That's what's happening right now. We're just staring at each other.
It's humbling, It's just really cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad I made you
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm glad I came too.
It's time for us to just really just listen to our hearts, really do the things that we feel we need to be doing, and connect with our dreams and our visions that we've had throughout our life, things that we want to do, things that make us happy, do those things that make you happy, and spend less time doing the things that you don't love and more time doing the things you love to do, because when you cross over, that's the thing that they're like, that was the things that meant most to me, is just like the happy times,
Yeah, it's cool.
and just being with family and creating memories, and just learning and growing and helping each other,
Wow.
Well,
That's really
thank
cool.
you.
Yeah, thank you. This is awesome.
Thank you.
So what do you even say? I don't even know what to say right now. Thank you.
This is the message I need to get out to everyone. It's just to know that how connected we are, and that we can learn to be more aware, and how we can just recognize ourselves. We don't need to have this specific gift to know like certain family members are with us. If we're trusting our intuition and feeling like, I really feel like Grandma's with me, and she's helping me, like trust that, and that's something that's really important. Thanks for joining me, you guys. And I just loved doing this podcast with you. And I just want everyone to go out and get their book. It is amazing, and it's going to make your life better. It's going to bring you so much joy and peace, and help you draw closer to God and your angels. So go get their books.
Yeah, go get it.
It's amazing. I love them.
Thanks. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.